You know what's really weird is I saw the Evil Dead trilogy in reverse order. I saw the trailers for Army of Darkness when I was a kid. Wanted to see the movie when it hit home video. Loved the film. It wasn't until a couple of years later that I found out that it was actually part of a trilogy. And so I went out and I found Evil Dead Part 2 for $6 on VHS at my local store. I went home and I watched it. Absolutely loved it. And it wasn't until a couple of years later where I got my hands on a copy of The Evil Dead and realized that The Evil Dead 2 is more of a comedic remake, but still the first one was gory and beautiful and wonderful and amazing. And I've loved them ever since I saw them. And I've been a fan for a long time. And so I was really happy in 2013 when they announced that Fede Alvarez was going to be making a reboot of Evil Dead. It was one that without Ash, I didn't think it was going to be as good, but I was still cautiously optimistic because Raimi was producing, Bruce Campbell was producing, and I wanted to see how exactly they made it work. And I went and I saw it the day it came out, and I really, really, really enjoyed it, especially at the very end when they played a few of the Easter eggs from the Klaatu Verata Nikto lines, or the recording from the scientist in the first Evil Dead during the end credits. And then at the very, very, very end, they had a little tease of Bruce Campbell just saying groovy. And I'm like, oh, damn, are they going to be bringing Ash into the next film? Because they did set it up for Evil Dead Part 2, and you would think this would be a great way to reintroduce Ash. Then a couple years later, they gave us Ash versus Evil Dead on STARZ, and it got 3 seasons, and the show was fantastic. And then STARZ just canceled it without giving us an actual conclusion. And Bruce Campbell, who'd been playing the role for 40 years, clearly was tired. Because he's a cantankerous old man. He is. Ask anyone who knows him and they'll pretty much tell you. They love him, but he's a miserable bastard. And as a result of that, Ashley J. Williams, is gone. Is never coming back. Which is sad. That's the only way I can describe it, is sad. I understand not wanting to get back into it. I understand being frustrated after STARZ canceled it. I understand all of those things. But what they should do, if anything, is give us a conclusion to the series. Give us a full-on conclusion with Ash, and then just leave it at that. Just end it, and then come back to it in 20 years, when then you can have a fresh reboot and things along those lines. Turns out that's not happening, but we are getting more Evil Dead. According to Sam Raimi, he confirmed that a new Evil Dead project is on the way, and that Bruce Campbell is only producing and not starring. Yeah, it sucks. You know, it really does suck. But that's just the way we find ourselves. So anyway, this is what it says. Attending the panel for the upcoming quasi-reboot of The Grudge at NYCC, Raimi confirmed that he is in fact getting set to bring another Evil Dead project to the big screen. Unfortunately, he was tight-lipped about the latest project, merely saying that he's writing it and Campbell will only be involved in a producing capacity. Raimi briefly acknowledged, "There's more Evil Dead coming," before explaining, "Campbell is tired of me throwing blood on him. 40 years of Bruce in those sticky syrup shirts. He wants to work again, but he just doesn't want to play that role right now." Now that is fascinating, isn't it? Right now. What does that mean? What could it possibly mean right now? He said he was done a year ago when they canceled it. He said he was done. "I'm never going to be Ashley J. Williams again. I'm never going to be Ash. It's over. It's done. I want to go on to host Ripley's Believe It or Not on television," because that's what an auteur wants to do, right? That's what an actor wants to do. But right now, that's the tease. That's the tease. So is this going to be a sequel to the 2013 film starring Jane Levy? I don't know. Or Jane Levy. Potentially. Again, they left it open for a sequel. I thought Fede Alvarez did a really good job. I think his career hasn't quite really hit its stride since then. I think he's had some good movies. The Girl in the Dragon, or was it The Girl in the Spider's Web, was his last movie for Sony that just kind of crashed and burned about a year ago. No one ever talked about it then. No one's talking about it now. But the dude is clearly a talent for horror and suspense and thrillers. And if they want to go back into that world, I think he would be pretty good to follow what he started in 2013 with the Evil Dead. But I think what a lot of fans want is they want less Evil Dead 2013 and more like Cabin in the Woods, right? Which was clearly heavily, insanely inspired by Evil Dead, at least Evil Dead 2, and it was more tongue-in-cheek. Ash versus Evil Dead was extremely tongue-in-cheek, and people who, well, fans of the show, they really liked it. Unfortunately, STARZ didn't take into account, I believe, the Netflix audience who were just waiting for it to go to Netflix before they sat down and watched it, and that's the downside. I really wish Netflix would come in and like negotiate a movie, right? Negotiate a final film to come on in and go, look, we'll pay for it. You guys just make it, and then bring him back one more time. If there was a way for me to create a fan petition that Bruce Campbell would actually pay attention to, and we could get like a couple million people to go, we want Ash, we want Ash, we want Ash, maybe potentially it could happen. But truth of the matter is, the guy, I don't think he wants to do it. I don't think he wants to do it. And I understand that. I do understand that. But unfortunately, well, I guess you could say maybe it's not unfortunate. Maybe it is fortunate. Maybe it's fortunate that we are going to find ourselves in a situation where we are going to get more Evil Dead. But is it the Evil Dead that you want? It's not really the Evil Dead I want. I'm not against it, but it's not the Evil Dead that I want. I want Ash. And that might just be the fanboy in me. I've been a longtime fan of Bruce Campbell. I even own the DVD box set of The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., as well as Jack of All Trades. I am a Bruce Campbell fan. I love Burn Notice. I love all that stuff. I've been a huge fan for years, most of my life. And this is the one character outside of Jack, the Daring Dragoon from Jack of All Trades, I'd love to see him go back to doing. Bruce Campbell's always had bad luck in his career in that regard. He's never really been given the opportunity to have a finale. And I think that is why he kind of wanted to walk away from this. And I think if anyone can pull him back in, it's Raimi. And again, I don't know if an online petition would be worth it. I'm willing to give it a go. I'm willing to give it a shot. I am willing to pimp it out there to you guys to see what you guys think. But I am curious. What is it you want out of? Is this a good, bad, other? Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Please like the video. There's the only way to show your love. Go ahead. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.